So back with the latest in the Middle East, the United States conducting a fresh round of strikes against Iran in an attempt to counter Tehran's aggression in the Strait of Hormuz. Let's go live to Tel Aviv where Mike Tobin has the details. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Lawrence. The latest in the back and forth with struggle for control over the Strait of Hormuz has Iran once again firing on its neighbors. Jordan, Oman, Bahrain, and Kuwait all took fire. The Kuwait is saying that border crossings, even an oil rig were hit out there. There's been a lot of social media traffic suggesting that U.S. service members were injured in Kuwait. Those reports are not true. But this follows another round of U.S. strikes inside of Iran. There may be some fresh reporting today about new strikes. The U.S. says everything from missile launching sites to maritime locations that Iran was using to menace shipping in the Strait were hit. Dozens of targets were hit by land-based and sea-based fighter jets. Guided missiles were fired from ships in the area. This latest round of airstrikes came after Iran fired on a Cyprus-flagged cargo ship crossing the Strait. It was traveling outside of the route designated by Iran and following the route encouraged by the U.S. One sailor is now missing and the ship was disabled. President Trump says Iran triggered this round of violence.
Agreed to a deal yesterday, a perfect deal for us. No nuclear, no this, no that, no nothing. They gave up everything. And then after that, they left the room. And then within an hour, they launched a drone at a ship.
As far as the plot to assassinate President Trump, as relayed by Israeli intelligence, the U.S. Secret Service issued a statement. While we do not confirm or comment on intelligence matters, we consume information on a global level to effectively execute our protective operations.
This is pretty serious. You know, you can't just make these kind of claims. I think it's important for Americans to understand that what the Iranians are saying and doing is nothing that they haven't been doing for 47 years.
Meantime, some 20 vessels, upwards of 20 vessels, crossed the strait yesterday. That's about half the volume before this latest round of strikes. Oil is now up 3.5% a barrel to $79 a barrel, and that's about 8% higher than it was before this latest round in the conflict. Lawrence, back to you.
Roger that. Thanks so much, Mike. United Against Nuclear Iran CEO and former U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Mark Wallace, joins us now. Mr. Ambassador, thanks so much for joining the program. I want to talk about the Strait. Before we get to the Strait, though, there is some reporting that when you look at Fordo, Natanz, or Esfahan, there has been no movement there. But it does look like some of the surveillance imaging is showing that they're trying to reconstitute Pixax Mountain. What do you make of that?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. And was listening to Mike's great report. Obviously, you really covered it comprehensively. Look, we have really good eyes on these nuclear sites, and I'm confident, given where the eyes that we have on it, and whenever you see commercial satellite reporting or news reporting of satellite data on these nuclear sites, I am quite confident that our military and our intelligence services have truly quite good eyes on these locations. And look, moving surface debris around is one thing. Truly trying to dig out this material and reconstitute a nuclear program, we will know it. But it is worrisome because clearly Iran is not ready to rejoin the community of nations, as so many of our friends have hoped in the past. And I think it's quite suspect that they ever will want to do that. And this kind of conduct is designed to be provocative and get us talking about it.
Yeah, the president makes the argument that they don't even have the tools to be able to dig out that nuclear dust. So, but they're still attempting to do it. I want to move on over to the Strait because that seems to be their one tool. At what point should the president weigh the options? Because we have plans put in place to do that, to secure the Strait. Are we reaching that moment that the president may implement that plan so we take that off the table, those cards?
Look, for the last 47 years, Iran has been desperate to confront the West and use the leverage of terrorism, its proxies across the region, its nuclear program, which was its ultimate leverage. And now most of that leverage has been eviscerated, obliterated. It's gone. And the last gasp of this leverage that they hope to have, even as oil prices and China's oil consumption as oil producers around the Strait are redirecting. The control of the Strait of Hormuz and the effort to try to control that is their desperate effort to regain or try to assert regional hegemony, control in the region. And I think that as long as this regime is in power, they're going to try to exert whatever leverage they can. And the Strait of Hormuz is really their last gasp because their other tools are gone.
Such a good point. Before I let you go, it would be foolish of me if I didn't get you to respond to the tragic passing of the late Senator Graham. I know you had a relationship with him. He was a foreign policy hawk, but wanted the safety of America at its core. What's your reaction to his passing?
Well, first of all, thanks for asking that question, because Senator Graham was part of the Three Amigos. We were close to many government officials in our own country and others. And Senator Graham was a great friend of ours and our our colleague Joe Lieberman, who passed some time ago now as well. I think really the point to remember, Lindsay, a group of us were circulating a picture last night that our great friend Ileana Ross-Lehtinen, the former chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, sent to me. And it was a picture of Lindsay in New Hampshire with Jeb Bush, John McCain, Ileana, and others. And Lindsay was just beaming with this smile. There was a joy to Lindsay's politics, his policy, the things that he cared about. He loved doing this stuff. He loved confronting the challenges of the United States, and he loved working with other members, regardless of party. And I think the thing that will be missed most about Lindsay was his knowledge, expertise, but also the joy that he had in working on these issues. And I think the sense of privilege that he had in working on them, and just the joy that he had in working with everyone on Capitol Hill and across the aisle. We're seeing less and less of that in politics today. And with the last of the Three Amigos gone, it's a real sad day for America.
It really is. The man loved being a senator. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you, Ambassador.
Thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.